What if we closed our eyes and visualized that we are an expression, an extension of unlimited possibilities? What if we closed our eyes and realized our rainbow nation, colors never seen by eyes, never dreamed by minds? What if we were colorblind, see beyond the racial bonds untied? What if we closed our eyes, went inside Madiba's cell for 27 ein? Oh, what would we find? But what if South Africans can be redesigned, redefined, realigned, our scars turned to gold, refined? But what if we could rewind, reverse the hands of time, reset, change the odds, rebet? We can't, but what if right now we could mobilize and they cut the network and we can't use our mobile lines? But this revolution will be televised. But what if the past 2 years, all the people that died is a message from the other side saying, we have arrived? But what if we continue to close our eyes and not be the light that brings sight to the blind? What if we seek and never find? But what if we do? What if I seek me and find me, and you find you? What if we could rip apart the hate of apartheid? But what if we closed our eyes and visualized further and beyond the skies and realized that what we saw on the outside was actually inside? But what if we closed our eyes and visualized butterflies fluttering, symbolizing the metamorphosis of transformation, a life without fear? Then we would stand, no, we would fly with such great courage and claim our divinity. What if we opened our third eye, forgot the lies, remembered the lessons from the trials, each and every step of our walk of 1,000,000 miles? What if we opened our eyes and saw and see that like eagles we can soar above the sea, and more than we can fathom we can be? As the wind flows through the trees, we could become the breeze. The love embedded in our genes, ripping apart from the seams as if it was all a dream. But what if we all closed our eyes and not intellectualized or analyzed, but allow our doubts to be minimized by not diverting or running from ourselves? What we would find is that it is we that held the key to freedom. If we but only open the door to discover an inexhaustible supply of infinite potentiality. So if we saw and see, so open your eyes and realize. Let go of your carnal earthling mind and let spirit rise, and we can reside in heavenly places with the Most High. Now, open your eyes and realize that you didn't need the choir to assist in singing the chorus, but you can take center stage and sing a cappella without the background noise of uncertainty, but of bravery. What if songs of joy we could sing, if together we could make South Africa whole again? But what if I can't change the people around me? But what if I can change the people around me? What if? Welcome to yet another episode of Oh My God. It's Synthetic Galactic over here. I think first and foremost, I'd like to pay homage to a lady by the name of Deon Du Plessis. I read her poem and was inspired by it. Her poem is What If? So you can find her work on Facebook. She publishes a lot of her work there. You know, I read her poem and I was I was drawn by the amazing words, you know, and I just thought like, what if, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So what if we changed our thought process? What if we did things differently? um, I want to say I really really believe that we are a weak generation, and I'll tell you why I say that. This country, the sand in this country is full of blood. People fought for equality. People fought for our freedom, and I'm not just talking black people. White people fought. Indians fought, coloreds fought, even foreigners who were staying in South Africa, they fought for equality. And it's all great and well that they fought a good fight. And sadly, a lot of lives were lost. But when you look at a lot of the things that are happening in this country, I ask myself, where are those people today? Where are those brave people who are willing to risk their lives for what they believed in? And I don't see them. And the issues that we've got, I'll make you an example. If I had to say, let's have a 1 million man march, and let's march against crime, let's march against corruption, let's march against gender-based violence, and I can assure you, people wouldn't show up. But what if I said, um, let's have an online petition and let's all vote and petition against all of these elephants in our zoo? I can assure you a lot of people would sign that petition, and I'll tell you why. Because it's convenient. I feel like we're a microwave generation. It's convenient because you can take out your cell phone and quickly vote or quickly give your 2 cents and then continue back to your lives. And that hasn't seemed to help us, and I don't think it will help us. We need people who are brave. We need people who can take a stand, like the older generation, who fought for our freedom, who died for our freedom. Instead, we microwave and we're cell phone, and we can all hide behind, cell phones. And the only wars that we know, or the only wars that we're willing to fight, is these Twitter wars, these tours, where everyone is entitled to that opinion of theirs, and everyone is now a critic, so to speak. And that's sad, and I believe we need change when it comes to that. Just off that topic a bit, we've got a problem in this country of hunger and poverty, and it's so strange. Like, I'm fortunate enough to live in the suburbs, and I'm renting, so it's not that deep. But my point is, there's so many parks in the area where I stay in. And I asked myself a question to say, what if we grew a vegetable and a fruit garden? We take only 50 squares of all these parks that we've got, and we grow this food. And the reason why I'm saying that is that in every single street, in every single suburb, there's someone on the corner who is begging and who is hungry. It's either a woman is lying there and she's sending her children to come and knock on your window and ask for something to eat. But what if we did that? And it reminds me, I read an article very recently of a African man in Pretoria, and he grew cabbages in his yard, but it wasn't inside his yard, it was outside, but still in his yard. And his garden was successful, that he went and he negotiated with one of the parks there, and they took 60 squares and they grew vegetables. They grew cabbages and carrots and so forth. And he wasn't even doing it for profits. He wasn't wanting to sell any of this of the food. Instead, his wife is a social worker, and he wanted to give the food away to the wife's clients, give it to the wife so the client can give it away, and also to lessen his cost on grocery expenditure, because cabbage is a staple diet for black people. And strangely enough, the Metro police came to his house, and I've never seen so many cop cars when I watched the video. And they wanted to arrest him, and he fought them tooth and nail. And he said, but they said to him, no, what you're doing is illegal. And I don't know where in the Constitution is it illegal on your own yard that you have paid for your land to be able to plant food for people who are hungry. And end of the story is he ended up having to pay a fine of 1,500 rand. Then I asked myself a question to say, okay, how come, let's get out of the suburbs, how come communities can't have these vegetable gardens and these fruit gardens and feed people within that community? Why is it illegal? And why is it that to do that, you'd need to speak to the leader of the community? Now, the biggest problem is the leaders of those communities, they're not interested in hungry people. They're interested in driving an AMG, filling up bottles with champagne, having steak on my plate, and they have got no problem whatsoever with watching the next person starve. And that is sickening, because we have got so much land. We have got such fertile land in South Africa. How come hunger is one of our biggest issues? What if that had to change? What if we had to start growing those vegetable gardens, not to sell, but for people to be able to eat? People to be able to eat, because you stopping at a robot and going to a fast food place and buying the person food for the night, it's a great gesture, but you'll find that even the food that you're giving them is unhealthy, and it's not what their bodies need to survive, or to thrive. And it's just sickening. And I just believe that, what if that had to change? Like, how can we allow that? How can we sit here and allow something like that to happen and just say something stupid like, thank God it's not me who's begging on the street? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I feel like we need change. What if we changed and we took a stand? What if we didn't need to wear a badge that says, I am empowered? A lot of Indian people are empowered. Jewish people, they're empowered. Caucasian people, they're empowered. But why is it that a lot of us black people are waiting to be empowered? Does the power not lie within us? Is there no strength in unity, strength in numbers? Why are we sort of still waiting for a paycheck of empowerment for us to be able to look ourselves in the mirror and feel great about ourselves, to say, yes, we are empowered? Like, what if we can change our whole perspective on empowerment? Because I understand empowerment to be sort of like an Ubuntu thing, and where we are, I feel like the only sense of Ubuntu that we have got is what is written on a box of Maheu, the spirit of Ubuntu. But do we still possess that as black people, as Africans? But what if we had to change? What if we had to unite? What if we had to embrace that power and that spirit of Ubuntu? Do you not think things would change? Life would change for us, mindsets would change, and we wouldn't be stuck in a poverty-stricken mentality or rat race if we could just, for once, just put down the alcohol, slow down the music, quit with the crazy dancing and acting wild, And I'm not saying let's not have fun. We can have responsible fun. But what if we embrace that? What if religion was actually meant to separate us? And the reason why I say that is, if you look at all different religions, they're based on the same principles. It's faith, it's hope, it's love. The Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, speaks of faith, hope, and love. But of all of these, the greatest is love.
Now, love is the highest frequency. The light will always overcome the darkness. So why can't we, as children of God, not Muslims, Christians, as children of God, hold hands and be in unity and stand under that umbrella of love? And if we had to do that, what if we did that? Do you not think we would change? Not only we would change, but would change the people around us. Not only the people around us, but the earth that we live in, the planets that we live in would change because of that decision. What if we stood under that umbrella of love, And I think the biggest problem is that we seek externally for God, we look for Him in all different places, where I believe that it's an internal journey, The universe, God, everything is inside of us. What if we started looking inside of us and we were united and we had a relationship with God, and not sort of because of some doctrine or who said what, and that is someone's idea or perception of God. What if we searched within inside of us and found God? I believe we'd all be united and we wouldn't have the problems that we've had in this country over the years. I don't even want to go into the whole wool being pulled over our eyes and how the devil has been having a field day, especially when it comes to the things of God, And it's because we're desperate. We're desperate for salvation. We're desperate for truth. We're desperate for light, and we're desperate for love. But if we had to seek that inside of us, I believe we could change. So what if we all joined forces and held hands and took a stand against things that are just not right? I mean, you don't have to be, I'm not an Einstein. You don't have to be an Einstein to know that something is wrong and it's not right. It's it's written. It's written. You can just feel it. But I feel like the wool has been pulled over our eyes. And I'm not talking about a nice thin silk scarf that is see-through. I'm talking about your grandmother's winter jersey. This thick has been pulled over our eyes, and it's been done in God's name. And I just believe that we need to do things differently. And with that being said, what we're doing here, I mean, like I said, I'm not Einstein, so I know that what I'm trying to achieve, I cannot achieve by myself. And I can only achieve it with your help, and other people's help. So I am saying that it's an open invitation. If anyone would like to come and share and have something of value that you feel that this country needs to hear, here's the platform. It's for us, it's for everyone. So I feel and I firmly believe that if we do that, we can sing praises of hallelujah.